And
It's in mine.
I expect that. What is it? Oops. Somebody just swallowed their microphone. I don't know who it was, but let's have a look.
Sorry.
Let's see who. No, that's all right. That's all right. As long as it tastes good, it's okay. All right. So, well, we've got 2 minutes to go before we start a show that we know nothing about. Okay.
Do a show, yeah.
There's a new comedian opening up his own club here in Second Life.
Wow.
And and he's going to do it on Saturdays. And you can avoid going because he's not funny, but he is open. No, actually, he's going to try. So I think it's called. He came over here and did this little thing, and he's going to do
And he wasn't funny.
I'm gonna try and help him to be funnier, folks. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, go help him out. Did you talk to Luck? Did you say to Luck that you're going to help him out?
I talked to the other guy. There's two of them, and yeah.
No, this is a guy. This is a guy by himself. That's another one that's opening a club that you're talking to. There's all sorts of comedy clubs opening this week only.
Good. I'm glad to
And when
hear
I
that.
say
It's
this
time
week
to
only,
fly.
I mean this week only
time.
because by next week they won't be here anymore.
Right.
What was his problem? Was he like too blue or something like that? Did he try?
He was very. I mean, the jokes were very misogynist. Number one.
Yeah.
Number
blue,
two,
then.
he
Blue
was
humor.
trying to sell something in every one of them, and he was stumbling over the
85%
lines.
of the people that here are women, so
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
blue
That's
jokes.
not very good.
I'm not doing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
tried that in the early part of when I was doing, and I gave up.
Yeah.
I said, nope, that's just not right.
Yeah, well, we told you we weren't going to listen to you. That's why you gave
Yeah.
up.
Well, that
So,
too.
anyhow.
Okay, the show starts.
We are ready to rock and roll. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Is this all working? What the heck is? There we go. Yeah. So, welcome. We're going to have Labor Day coming up. Everybody knows what they're doing on Labor Day this weekend?
No, I do.
Yeah, what are you doing Labor Day?
Nothing.
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 Yeah.
There you go.
Actually, I'll be on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Here, doing
Yeah.
nothing.
Next time I'll be here, I'll be in Second Life and in Kitely.
Oh.
Intelligently, you would think that Labor Day, a day when nobody works, should be called No Labor Day, right? But, I mean, they haven't done that, correct? Wouldn't you think so? I mean, if there was any intelligence right in that. And by the way, you know, Labor Day comes on Monday every year. You know that, right? First Monday in
Oh, yeah.
September. Which is interesting because the only person who ever got his work done by Friday was Robinson Crusoe, you know, but anyhow, that's what's
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. So Labor Day. Do you remember all the jobs and stuff? Now, I'll bet you everybody in here has worked at some point, right? Yeah, and we've all
yeah.
worked at some of the wackiest jobs ever to make a couple of nickels. God, can you remember all those jobs, you know? And you would think, oh, well, I could really be a star instead, right? But didn't happen. Anyhow, Labor Day, here we go. So I don't have any Labor Day jokes. There are some Labor Day jokes, but none of them are funny. You know, here's one that says, I tried my hand at professional career in tennis, but it wasn't my racket. I was too high strung. That's a Labor Day joke. I don't know why that's supposed to be funny. I wanted to be a barber, but I just couldn't cut it. Whoa, that was bad. I manufactured calendars, but my days were numbered.
Was this from a kid's book or something?
This is worse. But here's the great part, and get this picture and you'll understand this. Okay, so Labor Day. Most we think of American males on Labor Day, they're outside grilling, correct? Isn't that what we get?
Yes.
Hamburgers,
Barbecue
hot
thing,
dogs,
hell
steaks,
yeah.
barbecuing, whatever, right?
Yes.
Now, the interesting thing is they're standing there on Labor Day, and they do this on July 4th, and what they don't really pay much attention to is at the moment, the shirt they're wearing was made in the Philippines, the shorts were in the Vietnam, the tongs were made in Korea, the hat was made in Bangladesh, the grill was made in China, and even the sauce they're pouring on their thing came from Germany or something. You know, it's really funny when you think about it. It's not, it ain't the
Nothing
same
says
anymore.
more American. Yeah.
You know, I just talked to a client of mine. He's going to be 90 this month coming up. I'm going to go visit him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, give him some
And-
applause. Yeah.
Does he still
Yeah.
have his brains?
Yeah. He's very, very, very highly intelligent. Plays bridge a lot. That helps his brains, and he's really terrific.
Help.
That works.
So, so I forget what we were talking. It was brought up. There was some. Oh, I know what it was. Cabaret. So cabaret is, they play the same plays over and over and over again. He was up in Stratford recently, last week, all the way, by the way, from Scottsdale, Arizona. Went to Canada to go see the Shakespeare Festival. But anyhow,
that Shakespeare Festival is great. I've been up
Yeah.
there.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Stratford Shakespeare Festival. I've been there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
And-
it's good.
yeah.
a little background. This guy in World War II was in the B. I don't know if they were B something or other. They weren't B-52s. They were B-9s or whatever bombers.
Oh, in the early part of the war, there'd be B-17. The later part is B-29.
Yeah, well, one of those bombers, okay? And he's a nice Jewish boy from Rochester, New York, okay?
Hey, Roger.
And,
Now.
right. And he said to me that here he is, and they've done another adaptation of Cabaret up at Stratford. It was a dark version of it. He said, you know what? After 70 years, I don't need to ever hear about another Nazi thing again, okay? He said that was it. He decided enough was enough.
Good for him.
So, yeah.
I saw the cabaret version in Toronto, and it was next
Yeah.
to the Symphony Club. And when I went next door and I saw the very first, one of the very early shows of. Does anyone know who the Bare Naked Ladies are?
Yes,
I know
of
who they
course.
are. Yes.
Right.
Of course.
Well, the funny thing is that they're not allowed to get drunk in their own club, the cabaret performers. So they went next door to the Symphony. So when I went to see the Bare Naked Ladies, all these cross-dressers are coming in, getting stone blind drunk and hanging out. And one of them came on to me, offered to buy me a drink, and I told the lady I was with, it was my cousin, and she thought that was funny, and she invited the entire cast to join us and get drunk with us all night. So I spent a night getting drunk with the cast of, the cabaret while watching the Bare Naked Ladies on stage.
Ah, there you
That
go.
was a hell
So
of a
that's
night.
that's where you got your dressing ideas from. I can
Bingo!
see.
That's
Yes,
it.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Now we
started
know.
very early. Yep.
Bare naked cat boy.
Bare Naked Cat.
And
So
that's
now
a new
you-
dress, isn't it, Catboy? It's
Yes, it
nice.
is. I just bought it. Thank you. Somebody noticed.
She knows. She always knows. Yeah, and it's a mesh
Oh,
dress
really?
too, by the way. It's mesh.
Alias
It's not
Pro
regular.
at wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a Bare Rose mesh. They make a flat. They have a section of people who are flat chested, and they just happen to fit. So,
Yeah. Because I'll tell you something. Nothing ticks me off more. And I told this joke. But you weren't there, Catboy. And I don't know where the joke is in my notes. But can you imagine the way they have mesh? If they had that in First Life, and you went down to get a dress, and you walked in, you put it on, and they said, "Oh, well, you tell you what, you're gonna have to. Why don't you build your boobs up a little bit, and you're gonna have to thin your waist or whatever.
No way.
Right.
that would make
yeah.
people so angry.
Have you ever
Sorry,
noticed some of
boobs
the
aren't
worst
good.
outfits you've ever seen on people in First Life? And you go, oh my God, I can't believe. Well, I saw one, all right? First of all, this woman was not very attractive in shape, okay? She may have been a lovely mind, but shape was not appropriate for this. Secondly, unfortunately, what she was wearing had stains and
It was
had some-
dirty. Oh,
it was dirty, yes.
Ew.
And third, what it was it was one of these like cotton T-shirts that become a dress. They're long enough to be a dress, okay?
Oh yeah, I like
Except, yes,
Wait,
very
I-
generally very nice. I've not finished this yet. You've now got a picture. Here's a woman who, unfortunately, that all the creases in that particular outfit were coming out in all the wrong places to make you happy, okay? But most importantly, it was a dingy, dirty gray with one giant glittering star on it and the words "I'm a superstar."
Oh,
And I thought, oh, on what planet are you a superstar? Why would you wear that like that?
Superstar looks more
Superstar.
like you went
was this in
Nova.
a
The
neighborhood
superstar
where she
came
was
on,
like
Chopper.
wearing it as a hand-me-down, or do you think she probably picked this?
I
That's
don't
really
remember.
sad.
Fortunately for
Attention,
me, I
superstars
TP'd
came
out
on
of the
Chopper.
entire air
First
and
shot
erased the
came.
landmark. At First Life, yeah.
Does Kmart still exist? Is it still around?
Yes.
I haven't. Yeah, it's not in Canada anymore.
Not here. It's not in LA anymore.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I broke my
Wow.
back working at Kmart.
We have
Fast
like
Eddie.
weed litter at Target now. There's no Kmart.
Yeah. Well, you can get it delivered, from Amazon. They'll deliver it regularly. You never have to
They
pay
don't-
for it. It's cheap.
No, they
Yeah.
don't
Yep.
have ours. The kind the cat likes.
Oh, the kind the cat likes? Let me explain to you. The cat doesn't know what it likes. What kind you like, okay? I promise you, you can put out any kitty litty. The cat's going to... Let me explain something to you, Shauna. Yes, I've had cats before. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say is they'll go somewhere else. Exactly. What I'm trying to say is they won't stop. I understand that. Yeah. And so,
Want them to like it a lot.
so I watched the movie Babies. How many of you have ever seen the movie Babies? Came out a few years ago.
Is that sort of like a documentary or something?
It's sort of like a documentary. You're absolutely right. It was it was about I think 5 countries. I'm not positive, but I know the countries. There was one I think was Nambia. One was Tokyo. One was San Francisco. One was I think Bhutan, or else it was Mongolia, and I can't remember what the last one was. And if you watch, they will take these from during gestation, but they don't spend a lot of time with that. And then they go to the birth, and these kids being raised in these areas until they're actually walking. And it's a hoot, man. I mean, it'll tell you, if you ever have a chance, watch it. I won't ruin it by telling you.
I think it's on Netflix.
But it's 4 babies. Yep, it's on Netflix. Nambia, San Francisco, Tokyo, and Mongolia, right. So that's the 4 places. And the kids, it's hysterical. And when you watch it, you will see that you have relatives in Nambia, and we remind you of when you were growing up. And yep. And and the most amazing thing was, like, in Nambia, they have a kid, a couple of women come around, and the woman squats, and the baby comes out, right?
Yeah.
And but in San Francisco, the woman is hooked up to 9,000 little machines and devices and beep, 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 white lights and this and that. As my daughter said to me, the reason she's doing this at home with a midwife, is because she said they treat you as a patient in America when you're having a baby, not as a mother.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's significant.
Now, I don't think we have anybody in here that's... I don't think we have a single woman in here that's actually had a baby in first life. Is that correct? Is there a mother in the room? A first life mother in this room right now?
We don't hang around with mothers.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Oh,
it's
wait, we
interesting.
don't know. How about Queen?
Queen.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think Queen has kids.
No one here has kids. That's
Oh, wait,
interesting.
I think Queen does have kids. Queen
Does
have
she?
kids?
Oh, okay.
How many fathers do we have in here?
Oh, that's another.
How many?
question.
Well, every man in this place is probably a father, whether he knows it or not.
It's just that some of them don't have any children to speak of.
Right, exactly.
Queen, are you listening? I didn't get an answer. Did she type an answer?
No,
Did
she didn't. She didn't
have
type an
kids?
answer. No.
I
No.
never hear any kids in the background. You have kids, Queen? Eating toast.
She's eating
That doesn't
toast.
That doesn't answer
okay.
your question.
Nope.
No.
She has no children. Yeah, see,
Okay.
no children.
All right.
So here for Labor Day, here's some thoughts. Hard work never killed anybody, but why take a chance? That was by Edgar Bergen.
I like that. I'll live by that one.
Every day I get up and look through the Forbes list of the richest people in America. If I'm not there, I go to work. Robert Hope. Whenever you're asked if you can do a job, tell them certainly I can. Then get busy and find out how to do it. Theodore Roosevelt. One of the symptoms of approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important. Bertrand Russell.
Like that.
Dear. Oh dear.
Be regular and orderly in your life so that you may be violent and original in your work. Gustave Flaubert. Here's one for Labor Day. Well, I'm never going to work for that man again. Why? What did he say? You're fired. That that was the dumbest show. You know, that Don Trump, what a stupid thing. You know, it is never nice to ever fire somebody. You know, to tell somebody they're fired, no matter how bad they are, it's not like, you're fired. You know? They have a family to feed and stuff like that.
The only time it was
He's a
funny was
jerk.
on the Jetsons.
What? He was on the
Yep.
Jetsons?
But the only time "You're Fired" was ever funny was on the
Oh.
Jetsons. Remember when he got into trouble? George, you're fired. Remember that?
Yes.
That was a good invitation. I almost.
You're fired.
Thank you, Mr. Spacely.
Where's my
But Mr.
flying
Staisley.
car?
Oh, I
That's
love
why you got
this,
fired.
Mr. Sprocket. It was great. You're fired. Yeah, yeah. And we thought we'd have flying cars. Well, here's another joke for the workers, okay? Castle Rock, Colorado. Wage and Hour Government Department claimed Mickey was not paying proper wages to help his help and sent an agent out to interview him. I need a list of your employees and how much you pay them, demanded the agent. Well, replied old Mickey, there's my ranch hand who's been with me for 3 years. I pay him $600 a week plus free room and board. The cook's been here for 18 months. I pay her $500 a week plus free room and board. Then there's the half-wit who works around about 18 hours every day and does about 90% of all the work around here. He makes about $10 a week, pays his own room and board, and I buy him a bottle of bourbon every Saturday night. That's the guy I want to talk to, the half-wit, said the agent. That would be me, replied the old rancher, Mickey. You knew what was coming, all right? You know, everybody in this room has had to work and stuff, so, you know, Labor Day's a big day. It's not like, you know, we're George Soros or, you know, one of these people that are coddled by the Central Bank of the United States, right? I wrote her a nice little note, Janet Yellen, put in a little envelope. I goes, Grandma, can I please have some of my allowance now?
Did you get a reply?
No. Are you kidding? Yeah. So, anyhow, that's it.
Oh
So,
God, how much do I love those shoes, Lauren? Oh my God.
you like these, huh?
Let me
And they're
see,
your
let's-
color, too.
They're real,
Zoom in.
but they're gorgeous.
I know.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah. You wouldn't see me leaving one of these slippers at a ball. You forget that. What a story joke that is, right? Poor Cinderella shows up at the ball, right? The prince comes and brings the glass slipper and finally fits her. She comes to live at the castle. And, end of the story,
Happily ever
she
after.
divorces him and keeps the entire castle, and that's the end of it.
No.
Ever try to dance in glass slippers? Yeah.
No, I was
exactly.
going to say she broke her ankle on the slipper.
Yeah.
Decided to go barefoot.
I know somebody who once left his shoes at a Second Life convention somewhere.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they
Yes,
were
red
red,
shoes too, if you remember.
Yeah.
Red shoes.
Red shoes.
About that.
Now, here's another
So
little Labor
drunk,
Day
got
joke.
So drunk.
We were so wasted. Oh my God! At the few parties that we had, they were all great. So Roland, a businessman, is on his deathbed. So he calls his friend and says, "Eli, I want you to promise me that when I die, you'll have my remains cremated." "And what," Eli asks, "do you want me to do with your ashes?" Roland replies, "Just put them in an envelope, mail them to the IRS, and write on the envelope, 'Now you have everything.'" Yeah. So we had a lot of fun on Sunday. Thank you all that came on Sunday. That was really terrific. I mean, there's no show without all of you, and you really were there and made it really special, you know?
I'll be at the next one.
What?
I'll be at the next one. I'll be there.
Oh, good, good. Well, I really appreciate you were there. That's great. And, yep. And I would have some jokes, but I don't have any jokes because Doc was supposed to be here because last time I did 15, Doc did 15, and Catboy wasn't around because I couldn't book him in because we had to get booked all like in one day. But Catboy, you're coming to the next one. No doubt
Will
about
do.
it, okay?
I'm in.
Yep.
Well,
And I didn't give Doc a full 50% split. I said to him, "Look, I got some vig on this, you know. Can't get it. I mean, I gotta.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah, because I pay for the hippo and all the rest of it. I'm just a few dollars. I gave him almost a full. I gave him 60-40. That's a fair split, right?
So was that 45 cents each?
Almost. Come on.
It's the thought. It's the thought. It's the thought. It's not how big the gift is. It's the thought.
I always like when somebody says that they have a place, not this place, but they, like the people talk before. Well, we'll give you an opportunity to play comedy at our place, and you can put up a tip jar. Right. Okay. That's so sweet of you. Right. I'm 8
Comedy
years
and
in the
tip
business.
jars don't really.
Yeah, they don't go right.
They don't. I don't
Yeah.
think they go together.
I'm not here
Right.
for money. God.
You can do comedy here in Second Life, and we'll give you a martini, all the ones you want for nothing. Oh yeah, right. Okay, I'm
in.
ready for that.
I'm in.
So you
Give
ready
me
to
some
get up
girly
here?
drinks and I'm ready to roll.
Got a half hour's worth of stuff here, Catboy? Come on up, Catboy. You're up, and then after that, I'll get Bubble Pop up. Come on.
All
right.
Just hit the stand button.
While you're getting up, I'll be right back.
Hey, I want to show you everybody a photo here I found. This is a funny photo.
Oh,
And
I like pictures.
we're going to have a little picture thingy. So I've already resed it. I just got to stretch it out so it's big enough for you to see it. Now, you see that, right? Great big turtle sitting on a post. Now, the reason why I found this photo is that recently Rob Ford had another rally. It was over at City Hall. And they interviewed this farmer who had visited from way out in rural Ontario. It was up past Kitchener, just to come see Rob Ford. And everybody asked him, what do you think of the mayor? And they wanted, like a real person, not a city person, but, what do rural people think of Rob Ford? And he said, well, we think that he is a post turtle. A post turtle. What the heck is a post turtle? Well, apparently this is something that really dumb kids do. It's pretty cruel. Where they find a turtle and they stick him up on a post somewhere, and they just sort of abandon it there. And then somebody asked him, well, what on earth does that have to do with Rob Ford? And then the farmer said, he didn't get up there by himself. He doesn't belong there. He doesn't know what to do while he's up there. He's elevated beyond his ability to function. And you have to wonder, what kind of dumbass put him up there to begin with? And that's Rob Ford. Who watched Doctor Who last weekend? Doctor Who. Oh, you didn't see it, poor. I'm sorry, Lauren. I didn't mean to.
No, I didn't see it, and it's all right, but it's mainly Haley who's just heartbroken right
Mainly
now.
me who's
okay.
heartbroken.
I really liked it, but
I had a
you're,
sick kitty, and I couldn't
Okay.
go, and then I fell asleep, and I missed it. And
well, the first episode, they don't really establish the Doctor's character too much because he's still adjusting to his new body. Remember what they did with Matt Smith, where he's sort of just stumbling around trying to eat weird food? They're doing that with this.
David too.
Yeah, so they're doing that with all of them. So we don't really know what
Right.
the Doctor's like.
do you
It's
think
just
they'll
an episode.
rerun it? Do you think they'll
Oh,
rerun
absolutely.
It?
Oh, God, yes.
Absolutely.
Over
Are you
at the
kidding? They're going to
beginning.
rerun
Yeah.
the
Next
Jesus out of it.
Saturday? Next Saturday?
No,
I'll-
next
Yeah.
Saturday's going to be a new episode. Actually, I just
But
found out now.
before that, do you think?
Well, they
like,
they
the
generally
hour
they
before?
replay the one before.
Good.
They could.
Good.
I have no idea where you
Good.
live. Where I live, they would, because they just do a bunch of the old Doctor Who's and then they make the new one. But anyway, last thing was the new one. Now, after the Doctor transformed, he had like trouble. You know that thing like, oh, I got a new mouth, I got new tonsils, and he said I got new kidneys. But my favorite gag, and I'm really sorry to give this away, but I got jokes to tell. And I love this gag that he said.
Go on, tell the joke. Absolutely, go on.
Okay. Good Lord, am I Scottish? Well, I guess I won't have to hold back on the complaining anymore.
Is that what Scottish people are like?
Because they downplayed it with David. Remember, they sort of David Tennant. They downplayed, but they said no, not with Peter Capaldi. They're going to embrace it. So he's a little more of a biting. He's the witty humor kind of Doctor where he's sort of ripping on people. But does anyone remember Peter Capaldi is the man who's playing the new Doctor? Does anyone remember the last role that he played in the movies? It was in the movie World War Z with Brad Pitt. Does anyone
Didn't
remember
see
what
it.
he played?
Yes.
Played the was that the World Health Organization doctor,
Yeah.
the WHO doctor.
Yeah,
Doctor
right.
Who. He played Doctor Who in the movie before, and I thought that was really
Right. I didn't think of it that way. You're right.
Yeah. Doctor Who. It was a play on words. Anyway, I've only heard one complaint about Peter Capaldi, and that some people say, now this is something I actually don't believe, and they said that he's too tall for the role, and I said, what? How tall was Matt Smith? Matt Smith is about 6'2", 6'3", and yeah, he was fine. I didn't think he was too tall, but people say, yeah, people thought that Peter Capaldi was too tall to play the Doctor. They said that he's a really tall guy, and I don't believe it. And I got a picture here of Peter Capaldi. You see, he fits in the box just fine. That's not too tall. He can climb in there. That's not too tall, though.
That's
Oh,
great.
look, that girl in the background's a freaking giant. I
That
mean,
was
holy moly.
good.
And we just
Okay.
had some breaking news just before
That's
I
still
actually
going
got
on.
I just heard this. Does anyone
Turn him down, and then you won't hear him. He must not be in world.
Oh, okay. All right,
Not
it
me,
just
I
went
turned
off.
mine
Okay,
off.
he's gone. I don't hear it. Some new evidence in the Michael Brown case. It was an audio recording had just recently cropped up, and it was recorded in the background when a gentleman was in the middle of having a live sex chat with someone online. Yay. Boys, that's not awkward. That's not awkward at all, especially when they keep playing it over and over and over again on regular news TV. The FBI is analyzing the recording for authenticity. One official's already commented they're pretty sure that the recording is likely authentic due to the fact that the gentleman in the recording was not fazed at all by the sound of gunfire. Because anywhere else in the world where this recording would happen, people would be screaming and diving under furniture. Only in Missouri do people in chat rooms go to, I'm having sexy time right now, I don't duck and cover for nobody, till the bullets start coming in through the window. Yeah. And that's that one. Okay, did anybody watch the Emmys last night?
No.
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 Watched the Emmys. No.
I don't watch
no,
TV.
no.
Why
Yeah.
would I watch the end?
Yeah.
I hear I Love Lucy 1-7.
Now we know the audience that we're playing to. Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
That's what we can do. Repeats of the Emery shows. That's next for television.
That'd be great.
The 1973 Emmys.
Oh, I might watch the 1973 ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's buy the rights to them, and then we can just have our own station. And the Tonys and the Oscars, and we just do repeats.
That'd be Bob
jeez.
Hope.
Oh, that would be
Be
fun.
Bob Hope.
Yeah.
all those
I bet you we get a lot of people to watch.
That's kind of $1 million idea. Hang on to that.
It's
actually.
the award
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah. Anyway, well,
What do they call it? What do they call it when you watch the whole thing all the way through? What's it called again? What's the word? Like, you
binge
watch
watching
all.
or something.
You binge watch the entire history of the freaking Tonys. Yeah. What did you do last month? I watched the entire
Series of
60s.
Tonys. It's like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
People
I'm
are going
sorry,
into Breaking
Catboy. You
Bad.
just got me to fun.
Fun.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
We're having fun.
I'm big
Yeah,
on
like,
watching Frasier.
geez, when, who watched Orange is the New Black and did not binge watch that through to the end?
I binge.
I didn't all the way, but I saw the last 6 of them binge watching.
Right. Same here. Binge watch. I mean, I keep saying to myself, when the new stuff comes out, like when the new House of Cards comes out, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, and that's what I wind up doing. But last
See, if I
time
was
watched-
if I was a producer, I would do like 900 episodes and put it out there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Orange is the New Black didn't win a thing, did it?
Really? Oh, okay. I didn't actually
Not
watch the
everybody.
awards.
That's not because everybody can't see it.
Yeah.
Well, nobody can see the stuff that's on Showtime and HBO and stuff. They can't
Oh
see
my
that
God,
either.
I can't watch-
Everybody I know has Showtime and HBO.
I don't.
Sorry,
Not
not
me. I
everybody.
can't
you
watch
know.
Game of
Except
Thrones. I'm
that
completely in the
people
black.
I know,
Not
except the people
everybody.
I know are voting.
Yeah, but the people you
Oh.
know in Hollywood, they get it for free, you know.
They're voting. It's
Sorry, have we ruined your jokes, Catboy, yet?
No. We can keep this up all night. I'm cool. with
Yeah,
it.
we got another half hour.
Yeah, we got, exactly. We got a half hour.
Sorry.
What the hell was I
sorry.
talking about?
No, it's all right. We don't care.
You were talking
the
about
Emmys.
Homeland.
What about home?
And Emmys.
The Emmys.
I don't know.
Homeland. The Emmys. Okay, time to take your medicine, Catboy.
All right, down.
Oh, did you hear they put Vicodin in a new class of drugs today?
What they put in? What
I knew
class is
that.
that?
I knew that
The
was-
Haley Depository.
No. You can't get repeat subscriptions so easily anymore.
Oh, well, that's okay. So
I never could get repeat prescriptions for any of those drugs. I had to go tell the doctor. Give 'em-
Instead of 120 days, I think it's 90 days or something like that.
30-day change.
Unless you're
Oh.
They're gonna nail the asses of the sleazy doctors that
Wasn't
are
I telling a joke a minute ago,
funding
or-
their
All
lifestyle
for it.
off
I
of.
am all for this.
Sorry.
Okay. Now, who saw Weird Al Yankovic at the Emmys last night? Anyone?
No, I didn't watch the Emmys.
No,
I
you
missed
don't
the
see
Emmys.
nobody
watching the Emmys.
Well, yeah, we'll get on
No.
this. They got Weird Al Yankovic. You know that they have a nominees for Best TV Show Intro Song. I honestly had no idea that was a category.
What's his song?
You know how many Emmys there are? There's 900
There's
Emmys.
like
There's an Emmy for
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
who's ever
yeah.
been on TV.
Now I know
What?
there's like a billion of them. And what they did was they got Weird Al Yankovic to put lyrics to songs that don't have any lyrics, and he did his own version of them, like the Mad Men. He made lyrics for Mad Men. He made lyrics for Homeland. He
That's
made
funny.
lyrics
That's
for.
funny.
Yeah, he made lyrics for,
Oh,
you know,
God.
you can see this, by the way. They uploaded it to YouTube and whatnot. And the one that he did was Game of Thrones. Everyone loved that. He did some inside jokes on Game of Thrones, and I know some of Game of Thrones, and I thought they were very clever. But at the very end of the lyrics, the last thing he did was he implored George R.R. Martin to type as fast as he could because the TV series is catching up with the books. So guess what they did as a joke? This is pretty funny. They put the camera on Mr. Martin, George R.R. Martin, and he's in his seat with a portable typewriter typing away like a madman, trying to get the new books out, you know, so that on an old-fashioned Underwood typewriter. By the way, Stephen King was there for the Dome, and he typed out 3 TV pilots and 2 novels on his smartphone during a commercial break. Think about the output that man comes up with. By the way, did anyone hear recently? They just released this news recently about the Academy Awards. They said the consolation prize for the Academy Awards for people who lose is worth as much as $60,000. Ow! You raise that any higher, and people are going to be pissed off that they won. And the winner for Best Actor is, you know, it's going to be Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, shit! I wanted that fruit basket! Now, this is not really a funny story as much as I thought it was a really cute and adorable story. And it was in Alaska, a roadside was shut down near a city in Alaska due to a bomb threat because of a suspicious device, which was nonsense. Bomb technician came out, and he determined the device was actually a Star Wars toy that was taped to a stick. Is all it was. So why isn't that's the joke part. This is the cute part. Now, why is in the ways of Star Wars toys? The technician said he wanted to find the child that the toy belonged to, and the press is asking him, well, you know, this kid caused all these problems. Like the police were there and the press were there, and it's like, do you want to like crap on his head for wasted time and everything that he caused? And he said, no, I'm just sad that there's some poor kid out there with a wooden stick who can't afford a proper lightsaber. I'm going to give him a proper lightsaber toy. That's great.
cute.
Good for you. That's a good sport. That's a good sport. And I just wanted to bring light to that. And that's all I've got for tonight. And you know,
Whoa, that's great. So leave me with a half hour that I don't have anything for. Thank you so much. That's
25
great.
minutes.
All right.
Bubble pop.
25 minutes.
Well, just so
There
you
go.
know, first of all, I know we have Bubble Pop. I know that. I need to
Yeah.
get them. I'm just joking around. So anyhow, so that you know, many people don't know, but the Emmys, there's actually many, many Emmys. There's like dozens of them, and there's actually 2 major different events, and they're held throughout the year, and they're local ones, and there's apparently thousands of awards. Okay, so that just so you get an idea of all of it. But the statue was designed by television engineer Louis McManus, who used his wife as the model, right, depicting a winged woman holding an atom. Yeah, there you go. So anyhow, there you go. I won't go through all the Emmy stuff with you, but just to let you know that that's out there. On Doctor Who, which we're having done on it, So there are some Doctor Who jokes. I don't know if we got through all those. Knock, knock. Who's there? Doctor Who. We know that, right? All right.
I got a Harry Potter joke for you.
Well, we'll get to
Okay.
Harry Potter in a minute. Go on, do your Harry
Okay.
Potter. Go on, ruin this
Okay,
one. because it's not very good.
Voldemort knocks on the door. Voldemort knocks on the door with Harry Potter in the house. He goes, knock, knock, and Harry goes, who's there? And Voldemort says, you know. You know who? Ah? You know? Oh, you don't read Harry Potter. I'm sorry. You know
Yeah, I know. You know who.
I
got
love
it.
Harry Potter movies.
Here's from Doctor Who. Your mother is so massive that the cracks in the universe were really caused by her taking Zumba classes.
Oh, I like that one.
Your mother is so intellectually inferior that she used whiteout on her psychic paper. Your mother is so unattractive that weeping angels turn to stone when they observe her. You have to know Doctor Who for these, okay?
I know that one.
Those
I know that
weeping
one.
angels are so scary.
That's the most frightening
Oh
thing
my
they've come up with since the
God.
Daleks, I swear to God.
No, I think the silence was pretty damn scary.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah.
are. Okay.
Your mother is so old that the face of Bo was her boy toy. Your mother is so massive that if she were inside the TARDIS, her legs would still stick out the door. So bad. Okay, I'm sorry. Your mother is so attractive that the silence wished they could forget her. Your mother is so inferior that when the Liberty saved her, it used a 3.5 floppy disk.
Oh. That's an incident.
Not very
I
good.
don't-
Your mother is so inferior that when the Cybermen tried to upgrade her, they had to settle for Windows 3.1. All right, they should go on with these things. There you go. Anyhow, there's Doctor Who. Doctor Who. We love Doctor Who. By the way, I like a couple Putin jokes tonight from Game of
Sweet,
Thrones
good.
because we had the Emmys. Joffrey is the Vladimir Putin's favorite character in Game of Thrones, just so you know. If you know who Joffrey is. I don't watch Game of Thrones. Vladimir Putin's divorce is now final. He got to keep the property and assets, and his ex-wife got to keep her life. Yeah, what a joke that is going on. Don't you love this? I mean, you know, apparently the Ukrainians captured several Russian soldiers that were found in Russia, right, with no papers, no this, that. They had their guns and stuff, but they didn't have papers or their phones or anything else. And Putin says they just happened to have gotten lost.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You mean
I
in
mean,
Ukraine
come on.
or in Ukraine?
It's the
yeah,
thing-
they got GPS. There's no way they got lost with just their guns and no papers and the rest of it. I mean, I love these politicians are great. They can lie all day long, and get away with it. We tell one little lie, they want to put us in jail. You know. Yes, right. So that's
Unless
what
you're a
that is.
banker.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't that- that's
bankers.
an absolute bone. Yeah.
Yeah, we could redo John le Carre's name. Banker, politician, liar, thief, whatever. So anyhow, everybody having fun tonight? Yeah, Tuesdays. I want to tell you, I love that you're all here. I look up there, hey, Carrie Ring, how are you up there? And I saw way in the back over here is one fellow just sitting over here, really nice, Rick Zarilli. Say hello to Rick. Very good looking. He's smoking a nice, I think it's a cigar or a cigarette. I can't tell.
Veritas.
Very
I see
handsome.
Veritas too.
Veritas is here tonight. Veritas, you good for comedy tonight too? Or not? Do you want to just listen tonight? Ooh. Yes, and hello, Catriona. Nice to say hello to you. And there's Gio who's filming the whole thing, right? We're getting some real views, by the way, Gio. I don't know if you saw that, but 3,000 people looked at the last one you put up. Or
In 1 week.
one person watched it over and over again.
There's a bot for that.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Was that 3,000 views in just 1 week?
Yeah, just last week's show.
Yeah.
That's great.
3,000, and we had 1,800 the week before. We're getting some real views. However, several of them have said they know who Catboy really is, by the way.
Oh.
You can go look at it if you like Catboy. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah,
That's not
that's-
good to know who somebody is. If they
No,
don't
we don't need to know who
I'm
somebody
not trying
is.
to hide it or anything.
No, we're just
I
joking
have my
around.
own channel
yeah.
where I use this avatar, and my real name's on it. So, what are you gonna do?
Uh-huh. Well, there you go. Well,
You know?
that's all right. After the jokes we did last week, I'm waiting for the ISIL to come find us. You know, they're going to come find me. You know, that's going to be it. You know? And I just turned them. They go, "We're going to behead you." I said, "Can you just take a little off the top?" Yeah.
It's bad. That's
No, I know that's terrible. All right. So yeah. So anybody make a new avatar lately? Anybody come in and make a new Avi? You know.
Oh, no.
Because they
Not
they
me.
actually no, because apparently they've got mesh avatars now and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Do they have them in the? Don't they have them in the whole thing?
know, the-
we
the
tried-
merchants are just
it
crapping their
out,
pants.
Yeah, we tried
Yeah?
it out.
And what happened?
Boy and Franny and I, we were all
Yeah,
on
tell
there
us
trying
about
to
it.
See what happened. You have to have 3 years in Second Life.
Oh,
to
they get around.
You have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And the problem
Yeah.
is the merchants, the people that make money off of selling regular clothes, well, nothing they make is going to be compatible with these mesh
Yeah.
avatars. So
Took-
you're just going
took
to kill their
Catboy-
business.
Took Catboy, Fran, and I an hour at
Yeah.
least to figure it out. All three of us.
Wow.
And
Wow,
we're
that's
good
great.
At it.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
good at it.
We're great at it, actually. Great at
That's incredible. I didn't try it. So, but did you have a problem getting back to your regular shape, or did you just do it on a test
There
Avi?
is a way to go back to the default shape, but you have to know what you're doing.
it. You
to
have
figure
to
it
know
out.
what
Wait,
you're
you mean you
doing.
could make a
Yeah.
switch and get screwed? Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I'm
Did
not
you
doing
use
that.
it? Did you
won't be
use the
switching.
test Avi to test it out, or did you
We used our alts.
you used
We're not
alts?
stu- We're not stupid.
Yeah, we just made a new account. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did they look though? Besides all the difficulties, did they look good or not, or what? I mean, naked.
They're,
Did
well,
they
they're
look
better than
interesting?
just your regular, default
the
avatar that you used to
monsters
get.
were good, right? The monsters
Yeah.
were good. The non-humans were good, but the
And the
humans
humans?
really were sucky.
Yeah. Well, that's what that is. Okay, and by the way, we have
WoW mesh, the WoW mesh, or the
what's the WoW
Sleek
mesh?
mesh?
Wowma.
Body?
Wowma. Yeah.
or
They
the
were
No, what's
taken,
that?
They had a
body.
DMCA filed against them. They're off the
Yeah,
market.
they're back again.
Oh.
There's a Slink full mesh body now.
Yeah,
that
Strawberry
you put-
Singh keeps showing it off. Yep.
Oh, look
You
what White
put
Queen
it,
just said.
You put it
Oh.
on you put it on your body, and it forms to your sliders, but it smooths you out.
Really?
But then
Really?
yeah.
Plastic surgery. Cool.
So that's this liquid mesh we've been hearing about, isn't it?
Can you add clothes on top of it, or do you have to run around naked?
You can, but you have less layers and less options. I'm not that up to Slink because I think
All
they're
right.
the ones. All right, never mind. I'll tell
That's,
you.
I don't think. I think we're past that point, right? Okay.
Bring
So,
a bubble pop.
anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna bring up Bubble Pop. Don't worry about it. I'm also trying to find out a few things here. Okay.
Okay.
Bubble Pop, you ready to get up?
Yeah.
Yay! Bubble pop! Yay! Bubble pop system.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you told me
Hey.
that. But yes.
Hey, everyone.
Don't forget. Yeah. Hey, how are you, Bubbles?
Hey.
We love you, Bubble.
I got I was looking over all my old notes over the years, so if I say something that you've heard before, well, you know where to laugh then, right? Cuba ordered condoms from China that were expired and repackaged them and handed them out to all their citizens. Yay, said Major League Baseball.
Okay. All right.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, some athletes are really superstitious. Right before the game, I hate the national anthem. Why? Because whenever I hear it, I have a bad game.
Ooh.
Don't you get it? That's every time.
Well, Well, yeah, it's hard for me to master all these animations in Second Life with all these buttons and microphone and typing and more buttons and files inside of files. It can be complicated. I once went shopping for clothes, and when the lady behind the cash register said, "Hello, can I help you?" I accidentally said hell and mooned her.
Where jokes at?
North Korea says they're revamping their nuclear arsenal program, being prepared for nuclear war, says the NSA. Or they're playing asteroids. It's really hard to tell these days. Saw a picture of a deer roaming through the Walmart parking lot. If you're hunting deer in a Walmart parking lot, you might be a redneck. A man on Facebook says he's going to visit all his Facebook friends this year. It'll be interesting to see how many friends he has in the morning. You all listen to music? You buy albums or CDs? Maybe
Hey, music.
Pandora,
Legally pirate
Spotify,
music.
Rhapsody. There's so many choices, and listen to music, it's so easy. For me, I like the old vintage style. I like original, challenging music. You know, that's why I prefer to go directly to the artist's front door and demand them to play music for me.
MySpace.
And when you get a new roommate, you have to, learn to respect each other's habits and privacy. For example, the other day, my bad, I accidentally walked in on my roommate while I was masturbating.
Yeah!
A schoolyard bully goes around, and he bullies other kids in the schoolyard, and then like a teacher or whatever comes over and says, "No, you can't do that," and they give the bully a timeout, and then the next day he's released back into the schoolyard. Schoolyard bully is a child version of a serial killer.
Basically, yes.
Oh. A man was pulled over by police recently in Las Vegas. And when the suspect was asked why he was walking backwards, he claimed he didn't want anyone to sneak up on him.
Rather hate it than eat it.
He was then issued a ticket to Carrot Top.
Oh, that's too cruel.
That's how we do things in Vegas, yeah. A letter from a passenger of the legendary Titanic was found recently. It was written by a French maid. Big discovery recently that helped shed some light on what happened that fateful night in the Arctic. It said, "I wish I had a fur coat instead of the stupid feather duster." Oh,
that was great, that one. Whoa.
Thank you.
I just got it.
Really?
I'll
No,
use
I was
as
talking
my-
about the...
I'll use that as my closer. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Yay,
That was great. I'm so glad you're here. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, we got Tamara in 10 minutes. Tamara is in the house, and look at her. Wow, she's looking awfully
she's
beautiful.
pretty.
Awfully beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. Whoa. Very nice. Yep, very lovely. It's Labor Day. Yeah. And I'm not giving birth today. Not at all. Yeah. So this old lady was being examined, and I said, "Have you been bedridden?" And the old lady smiled and said, "I certainly have, and I've been table-ended and back-scuttled a few times, too." No.
Oh, man.
No.
I didn't work in porn. I would have no idea what that meant.
If you didn't what?
I worked in a porn store.
Oh, okay. Well, so I did this from the
You
show.
get fired for sampling the merchandise.
All these questions coming up here. Good night, Orchid. Orchid's gone. And
Myself and thinking of you.
what?
I missed that. Huh?
I got that from Reddit. I got that.
It's very good. I love. Where are some of your jokes? You come up with some good ones. Absolutely. Hey, Juicy Fruity.
One day I'll put together an act. And then
Yeah,
close
dude, put it
myself.
together and act. Anyhow, the toughest questions women ask. Okay, here they are. The answers of 5 of the toughest questions women ask. 5 things that a woman should never ask a guy, but does. These are the toughest of the 5, right? 5 questions are: 1, of course, is what are you thinking? Another one is, do you love me? Another one is, do I look fat? Another one, do you think she is prettier than me? And of course, the last one is, what would you do if I died? Okay? Well, what makes these questions so bad is that everyone is guaranteed to explode into a major argument and or divorce if the man doesn't answer properly. So here's the first one. What are you thinking? The proper answer to this question, of course, is I'm sorry if I've been pensive, dear. I'm just reflecting on what a warm, wonderful, caring, thoughtful, intelligent, beautiful woman you are and what a lucky guy I am to have met you. Yep. Obviously, this statement bears no resemblance whatever to what the guy was really thinking at the time, which was probably something like, wonder what the football score is, wonder what's going on in the basketball game. Wow, how fat are you? How much prettier she is than you? I wonder how I'd spend the insurance money if you died. Another question, do you love me? Correct answer to this is yes. For all the guys who feel there needs to be more elaborate, you may answer yes, dear. All the wrong answers are, I suppose so.
Wow.
Would it make you feel better if I said yes?
Oh my God.
That depends on what you mean by love. We'll leave that to Bill Clinton.
Asking for it.
Does it matter? Who, me? All right. Do I look fat? What are you eating there, Catboy? Cheerios?
Chocolate bar. Chocolate bar.
Chocolate bar. No, that's all right. We don't mind. This is this is a comedy club. It's all right. Don't worry. You get the bill at the end of the club show. Do I look fat? The correct male response to this question is confidently and emphatically, no, of course not, and then quickly leave the room. Wrong answers are, I wouldn't call you fat, but I wouldn't call you thin either. Compared to what? A little extra weight looks good on you.
That one.
I've seen fatter. Could you repeat the question? I was thinking about your insurance policy. Anyhow, so yeah, I'll tell you, I don't really go to Gore. I know Doc Grun does all the time. You know, yeah. I had a BDSM girlfriend once, but she tied me up and she left. You know, so it was that much fun. I don't get the whole.
You.
Yeah, that BDSM thing in Second Life, you know, that people come in here and then they find somebody who makes them click on something that just blanks out their screen so they can't see anything, okay? So now they're burning electricity to look at a black screen in a dark room in their home thinking, this is sexually exciting. Yes, wow, that's incredible, you know? Turn off the computer is the same thing, you know? And he left me here for 3 hours and it was just so sensual. It was unbelievable how much he cared. Yeah, right, okay. Okie dokie. Right. Yep, I just saw the new TOS coming out. I don't know if any of you have seen it, the Terms of Service. Yeah, apparently the Lindens have the right to date your avatar and don't have to clean up after they leave your sim. Yeah, that's
You've been violated.
I tell you, I've been really violated. I know the Lindens are doing this. I went home the other day in Second Life, went through a couple of my dresser drawers. I found some of my panties were missing. I think, you know, that's really not good. You know, really, I gotta wonder about that. You think that the Lindens, once in a while, they sit around, you know, and they eating donuts, drinking coffee, and watching some of the playback on some of the weird sexual episodes here in Second Life? Yeah, because they say nothing's lost, right? So it's all been recorded. Pervy Linden, yeah, exactly, Magic. How are you? Yeah. Gosh, I tell you, I love their Terms of Service. You know, you get these things nowadays from these people. I mean, I don't have enough time to read one of these books that they put out for every different thing. So we just click yes, 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 which means that when something goes wrong, we have no rights. That's not the way it should be, okay? I don't know how they dreamt that up in our society, but they've dreamt that up, that if you click yes, yes to whatever, and they didn't read it, you know? I mean, imagine that they did this, okay? Imagine that if they were going to put out a term of service, the person reading it had to read the whole thing, or their goddamn business couldn't take that person in. You know how many businesses would be out of business, right? Wouldn't that be something? Okay. The terms of service in most deals would go down about a sentence, and that would be it, right? Exactly. Yeah.
Did you hear what? There was another company. It was sort of like Steam. They had a term of service, and just to see if anyone ever read it, they left a $5,000 prize in the middle of their terms of service, just to see if anyone would try to claim it, and only one.
And
person
you won
did.
it.
No.
Nobody did?
No, one person did.
One person.
One person.
All right, I'm going to get off the stage so that Tamara can get up here. Come on, Tamara, set up and get yourself ready
Yay,
and stuff.
Tamara,
Yeah. Terms of service. Yes. So, so anyhow, I'll tell you, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, their terms of service is, you know, they tell you things like Second Life will exist as long as we want it to exist. Like we thought that for some odd reason we could control it, you know. Wouldn't that be great? Right.